Hello fam, my village. I'm back. It's Monday, it's 7 o'clock. It's time for our live and I'm ready today. I miss you guys. I'm gonna have to start doing more lives more often. But let me share this on my other page and share it to my group and invite a few people. Trying to mute it. Hey, hello y'all. Today's topic is what is it? How to co-parent with different parenting styles. Earlier I posted a post, hey Shelly, about different parenting styles. There's 4 different styles and it depends on the type of style. Like some are more aggressive than others, and just let you know how, hey twin, just let you know how to co-parent with 2 different parenting styles. And I have some other stuff I want to talk to y'all about. This one might be a little juicy. Everybody might not like it. They might get in their feelings, especially the guys. We catered to the guys last month. Now it's time to get them in check this month. So this month is going to be more of a coming from a mother's perspective, because we do so much and get so little appreciation. And fathers are usually more selfish, pretty much. They say they do stuff for their kids, but it don't look like that. So we're going to talk about that too. And we're going to talk about a post that I posted a few months ago that someone brought to my attention. I'll start with that first. It says, daddies can make an excuse, but a mother got to figure out how to make ends meet regardless. Usually we don't have an option. So if we don't do it, who else will? That's how we go about pretty much raising our kids. If I don't do it, who else will? Simple as that. We don't have no other option, because they're not going to do any half of what we do. So that was one of the discussions. Somebody asked me, like, what are my thoughts on it? It was just like a post that I posted a few months ago, and they was going through my feed and seen it. And for some of those who don't know me, my name is Monique, aka Coach Mo. Hey Lucinda. I help parents co-parent with success, create an impactful transformation for both the parent and the child. My goal is to bring families back together, go back to having a healthy family and healthy relationships, breaking the generational curses, breaking the cycle. My son want to say hi to you guys. He bouncing next to me. I'm let him say hi. He can get his little hi out. This is Dacian, my little brat.
Can I have one of your bags of sunflower seeds, because my dad ate the last one?
Okay, you don't have to say that while I'm on the video. I already told you. He always do this. He waits till I get on the video to ask me for something. Go ahead, Dace. He gonna answer a few questions. I got my cards with me, so he agreed to come on live and answer 3 of the questions, so some of you guys can know how it is. But yeah, he always got to interrupt me. He's on a routine for the summer. When he wake up, he have to read 10 pages in his book before he can get his iPad and do like a work page for math, either division or multiplication. Am I gonna talk or you gonna talk? He is so excited. Oh my gosh, he want to be in my life so bad. But basically we working on, like, next he's gonna start on writing. He's gonna journal every day. He wants to have a YouTube channel, so he got to write about how he wants to be portrayed on YouTube. And like, I take it serious, so if he want to take it serious, he got to start with the research first, and I make him write down like what goals you want, who do you want your audience to be, do market research, what topics you're going to talk about. What? Go. He's saying subscribe to my YouTube channel. He is my walking advertisement. I swear to God, this boy loves my coaching business.
Especially because you also got me a shirt that says son on the back, and
he liked the shirt I got him with my logo on the front, and mine say mom on the back, his say son, when we went on vacation. But he wear it. He's my walking advertisement, and I love it. But back to the main topic that I was going to talk about today, which was the parenting styles. Like, me and my son and dad have 2 different parenting styles. Mine is authoritative and his is authoritarian. pretty much he's more strict and not as lenient and give my son options. When I do, we discuss stuff instead of me being like a big disciplinarian. I don't like to hit him. That's not my first form of disciplinarian. And I just basically talk to him, see what's really the problem and what's really going on before figuring out how to punish him for whatever. Here we go again. So pretty much we had to learn how to compromise and come to the middle, because he'll be quick to whoop him, and I'm like, well, why are you whooping him? Is it because you're frustrated and you lack patience with him, or is it because you just don't want to deal with him? Like, figure out why he's mad, why he's not listening, figure out why he didn't jump and do what you said to do immediately. He's 9. That's kids. So sometimes you gotta meet them at their level, and that's the only way I was able to, hey Dennis, that was the only way I'm able to co-parent, is that we compromise and we work together, even though we know we parent differently. Now that he's been here for a few weeks visiting, he see how I raise my son in my household, and then I get to see how he is with my son as well. Hey Kenny. So sometimes I don't agree with certain things, but we'll just have a discussion about it and work together to figure out how we can compromise. Like how I'm bedtime routine, you read, no TV, make him go outside before he can have any screen time. And he's more of a, I'm gonna play video games with him, stuff like that. Me, I don't care for TV and video games. That's not important. Unless you want to be a gamer when you grow up, I don't think you need to master games. I think education will take you a lot further than playing around. So like we compromise on certain things. Like he'll be more strict on me. I'm like, clean up after yourself, stuff like that. It's certain things I'm more strict on than he is, but we learn to communicate what is important and what we can compromise and what we're not going to make a big deal out of. Because me, I'm not a confrontational person. I'm willing to work with you. So like recently we had a discussion this week, and I asked him, like, I asked my son, why is he afraid to talk to his dad about certain stuff? And he said, I'm scared of him. So I sat down with his dad and told him, like, can you have a discussion with him to see why he's scared to talk to you or come to you? So like we literally, I walked out the room, I let them sit in the room and talk and have a discussion, and it's because he's more strict. So he's fear him more than like, oh, I can go with my dad and play, instead of feeling like, oh, if I go play with my dad I might get a whooping. So now I noticed a change in the last few days since they had that discussion. They're playing video games together, they're going to the pool together. They're having more fun with each other than him being scared and always want to be clingy and under me, because I need a break. Like, your dad is finally here in the same state with us for a month now, almost a month now. This week will be a month. I need a break. Go play with your dad. Go bug him. They stop doing that. Like, seriously. Okay, we'll talk about that later. He really want to be in this live. He want to have the conversation with you guys. But then I asked his dad, because a lot of times I do interview and talk to dads and see what are their feelings. You see him playing in the background. I asked them what are their feelings about parenting and how they feel about the situation, because he has 4 kids, 4 different moms. So I asked him, like, how do you feel about your situation and your role that you play in your kid's life? And like we just had a discussion about it. I'm coming to him like as a friend, not as the other mother of his kids. So we really like talked about that. Like, he felt like a lot of people do give him more complications, and he agreed, like admitted that he deal with the ones that make it easier for him. So my question to him was, why aren't you trying to make it easy for us? We're the ones raising your child alone as single mothers. So I always ask men that, because a lot of men are not taught to be selfless like how mothers are. We'll give our all, we'll do for everybody else but ourselves. A lot of times we don't even buy stuff for ourselves. We'll buy stuff more for our kids than we do ourselves. Every time I go to the store, every time I get paid, my son gets something. I'm getting necessities. I don't get anything personal for myself. So I try to get men to get in that mindset, because it is a mindset change that they need to go through when they're not the primary parent and they're not used to being selfless and putting their child first, it is a mindset adjustment that's needed. And that's what I go through the first week of my program with my co-parenting program, because a lot of times, like he mentioned, everything he's done, he do it for his kids. Like, he went off to the military, he went and pursued his degree, and I said, like, so you going to the military, how did that benefit your kids, you leaving? And he's like, well, I wanted to be able to provide for them. I didn't ever get no child support. I didn't get no help. I went through my pregnancy alone. I gave birth alone. I did everything by myself. So you going off to have a career, pursue a career for yourself, that's selfish. That's what I told him. I told him, that's for you. You chose to do that for yourself. There wasn't a discussion made. You already had, almost three kids. When he left, I was pregnant, along with another girl. That's another topic. But I'm like, that didn't benefit anybody but you. None of your kids, like, we didn't get child support. One of them got child support, but the other ones, we didn't get no benefits from the military. The military still won't give my son benefits because he was deployed out of the country when I gave birth and couldn't put his name on a birth certificate because of California laws. So I'm like, at the end of the day, they didn't benefit from you going to college. They didn't benefit from you going into the military. So it's like, I told them, let them know, like, everything you've done has been for you, but you say it's for your kids. So I consider that to be very selfish, because us mothers, we all went to college while raising a kid. We all pursued our career while raising a kid. There was no excuse because we didn't have any other option. We did it on our own. One of them have a master's degree. I'm almost done with my master's degree. The other one went to college. Like, we're all in school or have graduated and have degrees as a single mom. So we're showing our kids how to do it, and you can have a career, and you can do it. And my son, I always tell him, it's team no excuses. So we don't have no excuses in our house. There's always a way out of no way, because if I have to figure it out, so do you. Thank you. And like, I just always have fathers think about that. Like, if any decision that you're making have nothing to do with your child, you're doing it in your own selfish rights. Like, it's for you, not them. So don't say and use your kid as an excuse. Say, oh, I'm doing this, or I'm moving out of state so I can have a lower cost of living and be able to provide for my kid, or stuff like that. Hey, Tish. And then you don't provide for your kid. How is being away from them beneficial? So I always tell them that. I always ask that question. When men reach out to me for help, I had a guy recently reach out to me, like, how does your kids benefit from any decision that you have made personally without discussing it with anybody else? Not saying that everything you do got to go through us. No. It's just have your child in mind first, like we do, because we ain't got the other option. Because if we don't do it, nobody else will. I always live by that. If I don't do it, who will? My son will be asked out if I had to depend on anybody else. And that's real. But then we also discussed, like, because I do help other parents co-parent, I wanted to help him be able to co-parent with the other mothers. We get along. The mothers, we have no problem. It's 4 of us. We communicate. We probably talk to each other more than he talked to any of them. We planning vacations. We didn't have to include him. The crazy part about it is I met the first baby mama. I was there the day the baby was born, because me and him were best friends. We're childhood best friends. So I was there when she had the baby. The second one I didn't learn about until the week she was due, because our kids are only 32 days apart. But I still get along with her, even though pretty much our kids are the same age. And I met her at daycare. I didn't know her daughter and my son were going to daycare together until the daycare lady told me. Like, oh, you know, that's his sister. That's her mom. And I'm like, wow. Like, he sent her to the same daycare I was sending my child to. So, yeah, we met without him, because we lived in the same state. He didn't. That's when 3 of us, actually all 4 of us was living in the same state at the time. Now we all live in different states. But I met her without him. So I always tell people, you don't have to wait for your baby daddy or your baby mom to introduce you. We started helping each other because she's a single mom too, and I know how to feel. Despite how things happened and we were pregnant at the same time, that has nothing to do with the kids. It's not their fault. So I used to pick her daughter up from daycare, bring her home, let her and my son play. They had play dates, hey sis. And the other baby mom, I introduced the fourth baby mom and all the other ones. We went on a trip to Disneyland together. So a family trip without him, all the moms. So I introduced them to the other one because they didn't know who she was or the other two was. So all four of us spent a whole day at Disneyland a few years ago, and that's how they all met. So I'm like the middle person that keep the communication open, like make sure like they see each other at birthday parties, stuff like that. We go to birthday parties, and most of them have been without him because he's only been to one of my son's birthday party, and that was like 5 years ago, and he was late. So it was over by the time he got there. So the other baby mamas were there. So it's like we always communicate with each other despite how everybody feel about him. So I can co-parent with them, but I want to teach him how to co-parent with them as well, so that all the kids can know him and their siblings at the same time. They know their siblings, but I want all of them to have a relationship with their dad too. So because I work with other parents with doing it, I'm like, well, I can figure out these four working together with him. It's easy for me because before anything, we're friends, so I don't even really look at him like my son dad. I look at him like my friend first, so I can take myself out of the situation and just be a coach or a friend versus another one of the baby moms. So it's easy for me to do that because he haven't been around, so I'm used to doing it on my own. It's like my son don't have that, even though I know he have one, but I've learned to exist without it. So I pretty much am working on that, and we also plan to go on our a little vacation together soon, me and the first baby mom and her family. Like my son is going to California next week to spend 4th of July with his sister and his sister grandmother and their family. So, well, this week. I'm not even going to be in California until the day after, but I trust them because I've been around them for so long that I know he's in good hands because he's spent time with them before. So, hey LaJoy, I hope you're enjoying your ebook, and I personally delivered LaJoy's cards to her house when I was in California 2 weeks ago. Hey Ramon. But pretty much it's possible to co-parent as long as everybody keep their feelings out of it and learn to compromise. Nobody can be selfish in a situation, especially when you're dealing with multiple people. Like a lot of people just don't have just one person they have to co-parent with. They might have 2 kids' fathers or 2 baby mamas or whatever. I don't allow him to call me a baby mama because I'm like, you got 3 other ones, so I'm just his son's mother. So we don't do the whole baby mama, baby daddy thing because I don't like that. Like you got other people that have that title. I don't want it. So I'm just his son's mother, his oldest son mother. But I do have different programs and different phases in my program that go through. Number 1, like the second week is forgiveness. The first week we break down to see what's really the problem. My kids and I love them. That's good, Joy. I'm happy. But like, if everybody is willing to forgive, because first sometimes you got to forgive yourself, because us parents have our parent guilt. We have so many things that we're so hard on ourselves about. If you don't forgive yourself first and forgive that person, there's no room for healing. You cannot heal until you forgive. So I go through, dish out all of what problems you have, what you don't like, what you want to work on, and then we'll go through forgiveness, and then we'll go through building a plan and working out those issues. I have 2 different options. Usually I have a 6-week program, but some people, I've been listening to my clients, they've been telling me like, I don't want to do 6 weeks, I'm busy, I don't have time. So I did add in another option for this month for an intensive, which is a 4-hour intensive. So pretty much you're crashing 6 weeks into 4 hours. So if you're willing to sit and hash out all your issues the same day, which is draining, that's why I stretch it out. We're handling different topics each week, 1 hour a week. I have that option because I know we are busy. I'm a busy person. I do a lot. I work, homeschool my son. I do my coaching business. I have another business. Like, I'm a blogger. I have a fashion blog and a coaching blog. Like, I do a lot. So a lot of times I don't have time. So I love those who want to take advantage of intensive and we sit down for 4 or 5 hours and hash out all your problems, forgive, cry, whatever. Every time I'm talking to somebody and I'm doing my breakthrough sessions, they always wind up crying. And I be so emotional, so I can't do a lot. When I tell you guys, like, oh, I only have limited space for scheduling for the 45-minute breakthrough session that I offer for free, it always winds up being more than 45 minutes, and everybody always in tears. So that's why I called it a breakthrough session. It used to just be like your like a sales call, but now it's just a breakthrough session because you do get your breakthrough, and then you get emotional, and it's hard to go through and hash out everything in one day, but some people can do it. Some people don't have as big of a problem and just need help communicating. So we can go through that in 4 hours, forgive, make a plan, agree, do the co-parenting contract, which is what I have here. This is a copy of the co-parenting contract that I have for parents to schedule, hash out. Some people can do it by just purchasing my guide to co-parenting like a boss. It take you through more basic steps than I do in my co-parenting program. We go more deep into it, but it tell you and it discuss the forgiveness. It discuss the parenting styles. It discuss the questions that you must ask before even considering co-parenting, because a lot of people don't ask those questions or don't know what questions to ask to be able to figure out a plan. So you can do the start the planning process with just my ebook, and that's only $7. And I know your kids are worth the $7 investment, but you can get that on my website at MoniqueAtkinsCoaching.com. But I have a list of must ask questions because we have to be aware of certain things and come to agreement. This is stuff you should actually ask before even having a kid, but since it's already a kid in the picture, you can definitely ask that and then be able to make a plan after identifying those answers. To talk about like what religion we're going to have for the kid. Are we going to get the kid baptized? Stuff like that. Is the kid going to have a scheduled a bedtime? Like, what do you think about immunizations? Like, you have to come to an agreement. One person can't just have that burden of making all those important decisions because it's for the child, that's for both of you, not just one person's child. And I recently seen a video, one of my clients tagged me in a video yesterday on Instagram, and it was 2 females, they're best friends, and they decided to have a co-parenting situation together. They've been best friends for over 10 years. They wind up 2 single moms struggling, got a big house, moved in together, gave their kids the master bedroom. One had 2 kids and the other one had 1. Then they each had a room. It was a 3-bedroom house. Because they weren't getting help from the child's father, they were living in New York, it was really expensive. So they decided to co-parent together. So they discuss everything. They do everything the same with their kids. And they co-parent like as though the other one is the father, but it's 2 best friends. And I thought that was so amazing because you don't have to always co-parent with the other parent. If that parent don't want to co-parent, don't want to be involved, sometimes you gotta, who do you trust the most? You can roommate with your best friend, y'all co-parent together and make a plan. They pick daycare, schools, one picked the kids up. They have a tight arrangement, and it was like a long blog article. I wish I had the link. I can't remember. I have to look and see if the tag is still there, but I thought that was so amazing for 2 females that were single moms struggling, been best friends for over 10 years, can move in together and co-parent their kids together. they didn't have the other option to co-parent with the other parent because the parent wasn't there in the picture and wasn't helping. And this is how they were able to live their best life, save financially, because they were splitting everything 50-50. And I just thought that was so amazing. But I never seen it like that. Like, I never seen that happen. And I was just like really proud of two chicks just like doing what they gotta do. But when you talk about co-parenting, you got to talk about finances. That is one of the things in my co-parenting contract. Who gonna cover what? And you have to agree, and you sign a signature. Y'all can get it notarized, and it's a legal binding contract. I talk about like what doctor the kids are gonna go to, living arrangements. How would you communicate with the kid? Like, will you just be talking to the kid directly, or do I have to be in the picture and communicate with you? Are you gonna call, or is it gonna be by email, or is it gonna be in person? Is it gonna be by text message? Like, I discuss all that in my co-parenting contract, as well as like boundaries. Who would be at the house with my child? Who will be living around them? Is my child gonna sleep in the bed with you and your spouse? Are they gonna have their own bed? Are they gonna have their own room? Those are the questions I have people ask, and you figure that out. Is there going to be family vacations, or will there be joint, like how I do extended family? I have my bonus daughter. One is out here now in Vegas, and then I'm going to see the other one in California in a few days. So I'll spend time with both, and we're okay with doing that because that's just how our family is set up. Like, who's allowed to come to teacher conference? Is your spouse allowed? Like, I really thought about all those questions because a lot of people would rather argue and be petty about it. Like, oh, I don't want her around my kid and stuff. Sometimes you can't control what's going on in somebody else's household, but it's good to be aware of what's going on. You might not agree, but you can come to a compromise. Like, oh, that person can't discipline my kid, only you. Or, I don't want nobody touching my child hair. That was my biggest thing. When my son had a lot of hair, I'd be like, I don't touch nobody in my kid hair. He ain't got no nappy hair. So his hair was curly like mine, but his was like a lot longer. And until he cut it off, then I used to be like, I don't want nobody touching his hair. Don't braid it. So I used to braid it before he go with his dad. And when he used to go out to Mississippi, and if he come back with his hair different, I'm like, who touched his hair? Like, I know you didn't do this ponytail. So, like, but that was in my petty days. That was my early 20s. So I had my son at 22. It wasn't planned. I wasn't ready. But we figured it out along the way. It took a long time because I healed first and then forgave. I always recommend, now that I know the process and I know what it takes, it's better to forgive first and then heal. Because when you heal first, it takes a lot longer. Because any little thing can trigger everything that you tried to heal from, or have healed from, or thought you healed from. Like, I used to get, that's gonna be like what my topic is next week. It's, let me see. It's, have you ever been mad or upset at the other parent because they get the freedom of being a single person while you have the burden of being the primary single parent? This is why me and my son and dad don't follow each other on social media, because when I seen him out in when he was stationed in Mississippi, he used to go to New Orleans for the weekend. I see him partying and stuff, and I just expressed to him that I'm on a budget, I need money to help with his son and stuff like that. And you're out partying in New Orleans, I used to get pissed off. Like, how the hell are you out partying and your son need clothes and shoes and your kids need stuff? Or when he bought a motorcycle, I'm like, how are you buying a motorcycle when your kids need stuff? Their tuition needs to be paid. They need uniforms, because most of them was in private school at the time and like charter schools and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? That's so selfish. So I used to really get pissed when I used to see this type of stuff on social media. So we don't follow each other for that reason, because I used to be like, you're selfish. Because I used to just ask, send a pair of socks every month. I wouldn't even get that. Like, for a few years, the last few years, I probably got like $50, if that, a year. And that's just random. I don't ask for anything. I just make it happen. I'm a go-getter. I do what I gotta do. My son don't need for anything. He have a great life. He's done way more than most of my friends as an adult. And he's only 9. Been in a few different countries and everything. So I'll be like, I used to get mad at that type of stuff. Now I just be like, I'm gonna do me. And that's it. Dacian, turn that down. You wanna come do the cards now? I'm gonna ask him, I have 3 cards, 3 questions that I'm gonna ask him from my icebreaker cards. Come here, babe. And I'm gonna let him answer some questions live so y'all can see how it is. I love these cards. We go through a few like every so often. Oh, you're heavy. So I'm gonna ask him some questions live and y'all gonna see how he answered. The first one is, what do you admire most about your mom or dad?
That you're really fun.
Talk louder. He said, I'm really fun.
And funny.
Funny.
And,
Look into the camera. And what else?
and sometimes you also make me
I make you smile. Aww. The next question
I
is,
forgot to say what
oh, what do you admire most about your dad?
well,
It's not a hard question. You want to skip? Okay. The next question is, what is the best thing about being a part of our family?
getting to spend time with you and everyone else.
Getting to spend time with everybody? And what else? What else do you like about being a part of our family? And it could be any family. It could be the family with my mom's family, my dad, your sisters and brothers. You just like spending time with them. What do you have in your mouth? Sunflower seeds? Get that out. You're silly. And the last one is, if you can choose another name for yourself, what would it be? I'm gonna see what name he tell you guys, because he had told me before and it was the name I was gonna name him, but changed my mind at the last minute. What name? Come on, babe, we don't got all day. Jack. That wasn't what I was gonna name you.
I forgot.
I was gonna name you Ian, and remember you saying that you wanted your name to be that before. But he said Jack. That is such a corny name. Thanks, babe. You can go back to your movie. Oh, you're so silly. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys a few of the cards and let him answer live, since you want to be a part of the video so bad. But that's pretty much all I was going to talk about today. Next week is going to get real. And I want you guys to send me questions of topics that you want me to discuss. If you want me to do a Q&A, a live one where we can do a live free session for somebody, I'm thinking of doing that. I might pick 5 people, if you're comfortable, where we can go do a live coaching session. And you give me the scenario or the topic, you can come live with me and be on the video with me, and we can do a live session so that you guys can know and experience how it will be working with me. But I am open. I have about 4 more spaces for the co-parenting program this month. And if you don't have a co-parenting issue, I do still offer private one-on-one sessions. They're 60-minute sessions. You can reach out to me, message me, any of that. The cards are still available, $30 on my website. And that's pretty much it. And I'll see you guys next week with the topic that I discussed earlier. If you're catching this on a replay, please put #replay so that I can know you caught this video. And thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all your support, all your love, all your feedback. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am always available. And I'm visiting California this week, so I know a lot of y'all from California. You better book your one-on-ones. I'll meet up with you, or we do whatever. We can have our phone call. I'm not really on vacation. I'm going to my uncle's wedding, but I just took a few extra days to spend time and go to the beach because I miss the beach. They don't have beaches here in Nevada, and it's like 113 today, and it's hot. So I'm in the house in the air conditioning. But book your free one-on-one with me. Your breakthrough session, you get 45 minutes, and we can have a discussion, and I'll see if I can help you or not in your situation. But thank you guys for tuning in. You can always reach me through email at MoniqueAtkins12@gmail, or you can message me through Messenger. I would definitely respond back in a timely manner. You want to say bye?
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
So yeah, we'll be back next week, and we're gonna get real with that conversation. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Maybe even answer some more cards.
He said he might answer some more cards next week, so we'll see. All right, bye you guys.